everyone. In the beginning of my speech, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ramadoni. I'm from Indonesia, and now I'm a Ph.D. student in National Dong Hua University in Taiwan. In this occasion, in this conference, in International Conference on the Future of Education, I would like to introduce some my research about mathematics education with the title The Effect of Self-Confidence, Motivation, and Communication Ability on Student Achievement by Using Number Head Together Approach in Metric Topics at Private Islamic High School in Tanah Datar District, West Sumatra Province in Indonesia. In the introduction part, as we know that the importance of learning mathematics, so mathematics is really important for the student to develop their critical thinking, their abilities, and for their logic. But as we know that in the reality, mathematics is not easy to understand by student. So the one of solution can solve this problem is number head together. So mathematics is one of subject must be complete in elementary school to high school. This is because mathematics is basic science that has an important role in the development of science and technology. Therefore, students must understand mathematics learning well. The learning process is one of supporting student learning outcomes. So, the hope from mathematics learning, high student learning outcomes. Students are confident, students have high motivation and good communication skill. In the reality, the student outcomes are still low. The confidence, motivation, and communication students still low. So, based on what we hope from the mathematics learning and the reality is observed, so they are not in the same way. So one of the solutions I try to promote is number head together. So a lot of study try to doing the same research with me. So this is 9 of my literature review. So the research question of this study, the first is the learning outcome of student using the M.Pd learning model better than student taught in the conventional. The second, is there a difference in pretest between the control class and experimental class in Mas Salimpaung? And the third, is there a difference between students' score during pretest and post-test using the NSD approach? The fourth, is there a difference between students' score during the pretest and post-test in the control class? And then, is there a different student confidence between this control class and experiment class? And then, is there different student motivation between the control class and experimental class? And is there different student communication between control and experiment class? Is there a relationship between self-confidence and student achievement? Is there any relationship between motivation and student achievement? Is there any relationship between communication and student achievement? Is there any relationship between attitude, self-confidence, and motivation? Is there a relationship between attitude and self-confidence? Is there a relationship between attitude, motivation, and communication? Based on what my research question, this is the grade can make easy to understand. So I'm doing pre-test and post-test in the both class. I have conventional and number head together as the experimental class. So I try to compare between the pre-test and post-test in every class, and I try to compare between conventional and my experiment class, and I try to looking for the relationship between the post-test and self-confidence, motivation, and communication in both class. So the research question and purpose and hypothesis. So this is the literature review. So for number head together, they have 4 pairs. The first step is numbering. So I try to give the student number 1 to 5 in every group, and then I try to the second submitting. So that I give the question to student, and student try to answer, and then the third, the student thinking. So the student try to answer the question, and the last one, and so the teacher will pick up one number, and the student will write their answer in whiteboard, and will give some explanation on that. So the methodology of this research is quasi-experimental design. So this is the result design, the treatment, and the control group. So what I found from the research, the result of my research is the first, learning outcome of students who use the ICT learning model are better than students who are taught in conventional class. The second result is there is a difference between the pre-test result of experiment, class student, and control student. The third result is there are differences in student learning outcome for pre-test and post-test, so it can be concluded that there is influence of the use of NS learning method on the learning outcome of mathematics. There are differences in student learning outcome for pre-test and post-test. It can be concluded that there is influence of the use of conventional learning method on the learning outcome of mathematics in class 11. The fifth, there is a different self-confidence of students who are taught with NST and conventional learning model in learning mathematics. And then the sixth, there is no difference in motivation of taught with NST and conventional learning model in mathematics learning in class 11. So no difference for the motivation. The seventh, no difference. There is no difference between communication in the both class. The eighth hypothesis, there is no relationship between the score and self-confidence in experimental class. The ninth, there is a relationship between score and motivation. So for the motivation, there is relationship. For the communication and score, there is no relationship. The 11th, there is relationship between self-confidence and motivation. The 12th, there is relationship between self-confidence and communication. And the 13th, there is relationship between motivation and communication. So the discussion for my paper, based on the result of the research conducted, it can be concluded that number head together learning model can improve student learning outcome can be seen from the result of student pre-test and post-test. And the student learning outcome with number head together learning model are also better than conventional class. In class 11 in Mas Salim Paung, this can be seen from comparing the result of the post-test of both class. And the attitude observed during this research between the two classes, it was seen that there were differences in student self-confidence, but there was no difference in student motivation and communication taught with NST and conventional learning model in mathematical learning. On the other hand, there is also a significant relationship between score and motivation, but not with the score relationship with confidence and communication. But each attitude has a significant relationship with other attitudes observed, namely self-confidence with motivation, self-confidence with communication, communication with motivation in the experimental class. So recommendation is hope that for future advice, researcher can be use normal and homogeneous class and initial data and a large number of samples so that it can be seen in more detail the effect applying the number head together learning model. And the duration of the study is longer, so it can be clearly seen the difference in the three attitudes, namely self-confidence, motivation, and communication. And can also see the relationship between learning outcome and these three attitudes, namely self-confidence, motivation, and communication. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching and listening what I'm talking about. If you have any question or suggestion, you can contact me by email or you can contact me by comment in this YouTube link. Thank you for everyone. See you in the next time. Bye bye.